Moment of silent meditation, pledge to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission to order on this January 29th, 2025. Commissioner Bloom and myself are here. Commissioner Shakur couldn't be here today. So moving on, consent and approval with our administrator, Renetta McClure. Good morning.
Good morning. 14 exonerations for $12,710.18. Minutes for January 22nd, 2025. Vouchers, General County, $48,416.56. 911, $912.27. Mason-Dixon Park, $594.45. Mon County Center, $233.64. Transportation levy, $50,000. Opioid settlement funds, $4,153.84. Payroll, $1,163,572.90. Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $11,051.30. Home confinement, $7,955.22. Mason-Dixon Park, $126.47. Mon County Center, $393.77. Assessor's valuation, $95.45. For a voucher total of $1,287,505.87. No budget revisions. Position vacancies for boards and authorities are listed on our website, and fiduciary orders for January 29th, 2025.
We have a motion to approve the consent and approval as presented.
So moved.
I will second. We have a first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. We don't have any additional fiduciary items today?
No, sir.
Okay. Next, we have introduction of new employees, personnel changes. So we have Canine Adoption Center.
Yes, we have a vacant dog warden position, Dana is asking permission to hire Carl Buckner, $33,500 annually, 6-month probation, be full-time, non-exempt, benefit eligible, and that position would start February 5th.
Okay, a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on, Chestnut Ridge Park, we have a part-time tubing hill attendant.
Yes. Virgil Lehman.
Okay,
This would be part-time, seasonal, no benefits. Start date is January 29th today, $12 an hour.
great.
Move for approval.
A second, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And not on the agenda, I believe we have a hire for the Sheriff's Department. So please come forward. Morning. Okay, Kristen. No, I don't think so. That's fine. We'll have it in the file.
Yeah, thank you.
And this is Briston Forker. It's a full-time tax deputy position. It was an advertised position and is benefits eligible, and the salary is $2,916.67 per month.
Okay.
Move approval for the hire.
We have a motion. I will second. Motion and a first. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. Welcome to the county.
Welcome.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a good time. February gets busy up there. So
I heard.
put your feet under you and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is your family
Thank
from, did they go to University High School? Any of your family, Forker? Because
Yeah.
I recognize the
Well,
name.
so you probably knew my mom and dad, because they
Yeah.
said you're
Oh,
the
God,
guidance
now I feel
counselor.
old.
Yeah, I did, and I was homeschooled, but yeah, my parents both went to
Okay,
University
that's
High.
how I recognize. Okay. Thanks.
All right. No more hires. Moving on. Comments from the public. At this time, we have a public comment session. You're welcome to come forward, state your name and address, and you've got a couple minutes to say what's on your mind. So I will open the public comment section. Okay, Mickey, come on up. Morning.
Morning. Proper name is William Reinhardt. People call me Mickey. 1 Duval Lane, Morgantown. I'm here as an assistant chief for River Road Fire Department, and as well as kind of an unofficial spokesperson a little bit for River Road community area out that way.
Okay.
We really got to do something about the trucks that are coming out of the industrial park, going towards south on River Road, crossing the interstate overpass and going that way. There's not very many places for these trucks to turn around once they get out there and find out that they cannot go under the railroad trestle out at Lowesville. These people, they've ignored signs. I've talked to Jimmy Smith from 911. He stated that there is some new signage out there. We've not seen the signage, so I don't know if it's not there in place yet or what's going on. But it's like these people ignore it. And the conversation, as a matter of fact, I just talked to him a little before getting here. He had conversations with a couple of the truckers, and they've ignored the signage. We just need to do something to try to keep these trucks from going that direction. Last week, one of the trucks come down to the fire department and pretty much got hung up in the turn at our fire department because of the roads, the conditions of the roads. A car come around a turn and almost hit this truck in the side. And it's just become a big hazard. I realize the lower River Road, people talk about it and this and that. That's a whole different, entity there and whatnot. What we're concerned about more is when they come out of the industrial park, they're going left, and it's just not suitable for large trucks because of that overpass. And the roads are getting even narrower the further you go out River Road as well.
Sure.
So just look. I guess what I'm looking for here is if there's anything maybe the commission can do to kind of assist, to get us kind of who we need to talk to or what we need to do to kind of try to keep this from, whether it's the industrial park itself, because I think they're a little frustrated with some of the trucks too, with the way they're going through their park and stuff. I don't know if we need to talk to the bottling plant, if we need to deal with the companies themselves, the trucking companies themselves, or what we need to do, but we really would like to maybe see some results coming that we can prevent this. Because I can only imagine when if it comes, the interchange comes into place, people are going to look at that and they're going to, because they're using Google Maps, they're printing them off a computer, they're not even using a GPS that's suitable for trucks anyways. And I think that's where they're getting in trouble with, is they're not using, trucking capable GPS. And it's putting people in binds. And when a truck gets hung up in a turn, we can't get to the fire department, we can't get trucks out to a call. It could be a bad situation. So just kind of looking maybe there for a little help. I'm not sure what you can do or anything, so.
Could I ask to suspend the rules to respond?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
no problem. What I'm going to ask you to do is if you could write an email to Renetta. I just met with the local DOH yesterday. I will immediately send that to them because maybe DOH can also put up some signage and so on. Because right now the problem is we've gone through all the businesses, we've tried to explain to the companies, but maybe if we get DOH, put up some signage and so on, maybe there's something that they could do so you don't end up that. But if you could send an email, then I could officially send it to the DOH, at least try it that way.
Sure, I mean, anything's better than, I don't know who, I don't know, Jimmy didn't tell me who actually put the signage out, if it was the industrial park itself or not.
I think they
but-
did, yeah.
So I don't know if it was DOH, but that's what we're kind of thinking. You look at these yellow signs, there's one on High Street. When you cross the South High Street Bridge, it says,
Do not.
road is not suitable for large trucks. And, you could put some sort of signage like
flashing
that on.
signs.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to flash, but at least it has to be contrasting colors and whatever, kind of that yellowish look. So
I'd be more than
that's what we're
willing
kind of
to
looking
submit
for,
it.
is something to at least give a little bit more bite
Okay.
to tell these people, stay off the road. It's
No,
no good
I
for
think
you.
it's a legitimate concern. We're getting numerous calls on that.
I can only imagine,
Go.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so. And
Okay,
again,
if
like
you
I
could
said,
do
the
that-
lower River Road's a whole different, that's
Right.
a whole different thing. I understand that part. But when you don't have any place to turn around, these trucks are, literally in people's driveways, tearing them up and just
Yeah.
different things, so.
I hope it'd be
Okay.
the new bridges built too, that'll hopefully dissuade people from.
But in the interim.
One would hope. One
Yeah,
would
you would hope, yeah. But in the interim, if you could.
Because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for 79.
Since
Sure,
it's a-
sure.
Yeah, since it's an official email or
Yes, I understand what you're
request, then
saying.
we will be able to submit it immediately for you.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no one, I'll close public comment. Moving on, calling Coon grants. No grants today. Correspondence, we have a Bow Park second quarter levy report.
Yep.
Pretty much what it says, it says. If anyone would like to see it, we can provide it. Tom, do you had some?
Yes, I
correspondence?
did, and I know you also have one too. I know we're receiving numerous complaints about pickup garbage, and I just said, I live on Arbos Lane in Mon County, and garbage in our neighborhood hasn't been picked up since January 1st. That's 6 weeks. I understand that the snow has caused delays, but our roads need to be cleared, and the trash pickup was supposed to be done again yesterday, but no one came out. The trash is piling up. Could you help us? So I will submit this to Republic, and I think you also have.
Yeah, I've received a letter from Suzanne Lytle on Donna Avenue up around Airport Boulevard area, that a similar complaint, that had been 4 weeks as of January 14th since they'd had trash pickup. So
Yeah.
we'll forward those along to Republic
Okay.
and get from there.
Thank you.
Any other correspondence, Renetta?
Yes, I had, an email came into the office from Russ Bonasso, who's been serving on the Deckers Creek Public Service District Board. He is resigning his position as a board member, so
Okay.
that'll be a vacancy that it's already been put on the website
Okay.
as a vacancy, so we'll need to get somebody in there to
Do
serve
we
in that
need,
position.
we don't need to take an action to accept at this
Yeah.
point, do we, or should we take it up now?
Yeah.
Even though it's on June. Okay, do I have a motion to accept Mr. Bonasso's resignation?
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on, no unfinished business. On to new business. A, consideration to approve the West Virginia Land Trust and Mon River Trails Conservancy's request to use Camp Muffley Dining Hall in Pavilion 3, free of charge for the Blue Jean Ball event on April 12th, 2025.
Move for approval.
I will second. It's a-
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's a great event. If you get a chance to get a ticket and go out there, it's a lot of fun. It's been going on for probably, I'm not sure how long, a long time. But,
Yeah.
so we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on. Consideration of an appointment to the Mason-Dixon Historical Park Advisory Board.
I mentioned last week that I was waiting on another letter from someone wanting to be reappointed. Lisa Vinton, who is now Lisa Sanders, is asking to be reappointed to another term.
Okay.
I so move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next, to consider for approval a proposal from Mon EMS to access crisis response funding by the West Virginia Legislature's EMS Salary Enhancement Fund to provide for first responder training. Request is for $8,000.
Correct.
It's a 2-day training, 50 people, I believe.
25.
Oh, okay.
And Force is here.
Yeah. I'll move to approve the proposal with a second, so he can.
And I'll second, and if you'd
Yeah.
like to come up and give a couple of words for us, we'll take up a vote.
Thank you, Commissioners. Yes, once again, Forrest Wine with Mon EMS. A couple years ago, the legislature was doing the salary enhancement funding, and we were able to work with our elected officials and get a piece of that carved out for EMS mental health, which is a massive need in the state. And as you all know, that was distributed equally to all the counties. There's a ton of counties that are doing various little things. Sort of a passion project for the Mon EMS side of things is there's a group of people that are dealing with stuff like after events happen. We're trying to move up the chain and do a lot more of the mindfulness and resiliency trainings that our folks can be more prepared for the incidents that they're going into. So then the need for response afterwards is less, or like some of the programs that are available, they'll be better able to handle some of those things. So this is a 2-day program. We're going to get as many of the Mon EMS folks that are in there as possible. But I was speaking with Renetta that if for some reason, just due to our scheduling or whatever else, I can't fill all the seats, I'm going to open those up to other Mon County first responders and make sure that it's full and that it's fully taken care of.
Wonderful. All right, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Forrest. Next on the agenda, we have a consideration of a 3-party memorandum of understanding between the County Commission, Morgantown Utility Board, and RDR LLC to execute a storm sewer improvement project in the area surrounding the Kings Court Development Project. Before we take it up, I'll read, the Commissioner Skor couldn't be here today. He was sort of the chief architect behind this agreement, along with the developer and MUB, and he wanted me to read to read this in regards to this proposal. So, on October 23rd, 24, the commission, at a very lengthy public meeting, approved a resolution which provided approval of a map amendment, MA 001-2024, contingent on DSI 002-2024 being fully addressed. Through information that I gathered prior to that meeting by talking to the residents in that area and information that was gathered in the public meeting, it was evident to me that if the additional steps were taken to address longstanding water runoff issues in the larger area, that the residents, though they still might not value having further development in their neighborhood, that fixing this long-standing issue would be an acceptable trade-off. Many of the residents told me that while they are cautiously optimistic, they felt somewhere along the way promises wouldn't be kept and they would somehow get shorted in the end. The commission gave contingent approval to make sure that the conditions in the DSI would be honored, but it is important to know that the developer fixing this long-standing issue was a condition that is over and above what they would be required to do through statute/local ordinance. Sean, that as one commissioner gave his word that I would stay on top of this to ensure that the promises were kept. About a month ago, received word from a resident that the parties weren't getting along due to some unreasonable demands by one of the adjacent impacted developers. I reached out to our planner and asked him to investigate this and report back to me, which he did. About 2 weeks ago, I heard that relationships among the parties was deteriorating further and that the whole project was in jeopardy of devolving into a legal nightmare. I asked my fellow commissioners to allow me to get involved on behalf of the commission to get all the parties to the table to work out a solution. The agreement that is being taken up today is a byproduct of those discussions, which we will ensure that this stormwater runoff project goes through as promised to our citizens. Essentially, Morgantown Utility Board, has agreed to take on the project as a MUB project with input from the developers, such some funding as well as providing already developed engineering, etc. For the commission's part, we are agreeing to split the remaining costs with MUB to fund this project in the best interest of the residents, but more importantly, to continue our duty to bring parties together and all give up something for the overall good of our community. The project budget is $320,000. The agreement is that the commission and MUB would split 75% of that, $240,000, not to exceed $120,000 each. The initial estimate is $112,500 for each party, but we agreed to go up to $120,000 each is the proposal. RDR Properties, the developer, the BF4 group, would contribute $80,000 or 25% of the project. In regard to the RDR contribution, Sean wants to thank personally David BF4 as their contribution is above and beyond technically what they should have to contribute for this project, and it only impacts about 16% of the overall stormwater runoff. Their project, that is, only affects about 16% of the overall stormwater runoff from that area. In addition, Mr. BF4 and his legal counsel, Mark Keppel, I want to thank Mike McNulty and his team at MUB, especially his legal counsel, for focusing on the overall community and coming together to work this out. That was Sean's comments. And we have some folks here from RDR, I see, and our county planner, Andrew, is here to answer any questions. Do you have any questions as it
No,
pertains
I'll
to-
just move that we sign the three-party MOU.
Okay, I will second. Were there any comments that RDR wanted to make, Scott, or Sean pretty much covered in his memo?
I think Sean did a very good job at that.
Okay. Yeah, I got involved early on with a conversation with counsel from RDR, and it was really glad that we took a potential tender box and just kind of put some water on it, smoothed it out, and got everyone to the table. This should really help that community. This project, along with the Pocono Run project that's progressing in that same general area, hopefully will address a lot of the stormwater issues that we've had the flooding on over the past few years. So I appreciate our planner stepping in to give input in the project, RDR's willingness to work with MUB, and MUB being willing to come to the table and find a solution to make something work for the whole community. So we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it passes. Next, we have reports, or we don't have any more new business. do we?
No, that's
I
good,
didn't see
thanks.
anything, but making sure. Reports from elected officials? No? Reports from county commissioners. Tom?
Yes, two issues and both good news. First, I want to thank J.R. Petsko and Corin, the park superintendent out of Chestnut Ridge Park. We had an unbelievably successful tubing weekend, and hopefully we may have it for a couple more weekends. So I really appreciate everyone who made that work. The other is I had a meeting with Wheezy Michael from Morgantown City Council and the 3 local DOH officials for over 2 hours yesterday, and it was a good meeting. I think it was very straightforward. I think there's a major change in wanting to work together and come up with some ideas to help each other out. And I will end with that we are in the ending part of finalizing a plan that will involve all the cities in the county, WVU, and the county commission that will clearly work with certain local road issues, and hopefully in the next week or so, we'll be able to announce that.
Okay. I wanted to thank our rescue squads and the sheriff's department for their work in the horrific accident on the bridge at Cheat Lake, fishing the vehicle out of the water. That horrible accident. It was a collaborative effort, and they worked efficiently. Took less time than anticipated. It shut down the interstate there for a while. And one byproduct of it, which I was incredibly pleased to see, is anticipating the closure of the interstate. DOH took the opportunity to fix the abutment on the west side of the bridge while the road was closed. I was very surprised and thought that was very opportunistic and a very good thing to do, that they didn't have to flag it and put cones up, and took the opportunity while that road was down to fix part of that problem that's been there on the abutment. So thank you for that. And also want to echo the sentiments that Tom made about the tubing hill. Our Director of Parks, J.R. Petsko, actually set up camp at Chestnut Ridge for 3 days, stayed there in one of the cabins, and worked. His post you can follow on Facebook. He was there very early and very late every day, making sure everything was going off. And the kids and everyone that was at the tubing park, I heard from several families that had a great time there. It's a great thing when we have enough snow to get it working. I believe we're going to try to keep it going for this weekend as well.
Hopefully the next couple weekends.
So you book your sessions online at our parks website, and it's only $10 a head. Comparable sledding hill at Seven Springs and at Wisp, I believe, is $50 or $60 an hour. So we're a 2-hour session for $10 is a great bargain and a great benefit to our citizens, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. So that's all I've got. Anything else?
No.
Have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
We are gone. Thank you.
Second.